How do you do the basics of SEO for your MSP to get found on Google or any other search engine without being an SEO expert? This video is the basics of what you should be doing in order to get found so that way your dream customer can actually find you online. Now, why am I starting with online? I'm going to get to that right after I should say I introduce myself. My name is Harrison Barron from growth-generators.com. We help MSPs grow, whether that's sales training, teaching you how to sell your services, marketing training, just like this, but way more in depth, teaching you how to build an unlimited number of leads, and operations training, teaching you how to operate your business effectively so that way you can build the MSP of your dreams. If you want to learn more about us, head over to growth-generators.com. We have our programs, our flag, our probably number one product, the MSP Heroes membership. It includes all of our sales training, marketing training, SEO training specifically. There's tons of free resources at growth-generators.com/resources. And I mean, free acronym cheat sheets, how to handle objections. It's completely free. Sales sheets, landing your first client step by step. And also, if you want to hang out with us in the Discord, growth-generators.com/Discord. All of the links will be down in the video description. So, why am I starting with SEO? Well, look, you're probably like most people watching this channel, and most people are introverted. And I get it. I happen to be a bit more extroverted, although I absolutely was an introvert back in school. I was definitely picked on as a kid. Grew up, I was pretty quiet. I didn't like going out and meeting people, and I had to realize I just had to learn to go out and talk to people. But I get it. I get where you're coming from. The nice part about SEO is you could do it from the comfort of your own home or your own office. SEO just means making your website easier to find on Google. And a simple analogy is think of Google like you're a dog looking for a steak, right? We want to make our website look as juicy of a steak as possible so Google picks us over our competitors, right? That's really what we're trying to do. And we want to make sure that we show up for simple things like IT support near me or, hey, IT support in XY industry. And these are all really, really important. Now, before we even get into SEO, it starts with Google My Business. And I'm going to set up a Google My Business here where I'm going to show you exactly what it looks like. If you type in Google My Business, it'll be the first thing that comes up. It says get listed on Google. Now, this is a fairly simple process. You can hit get started and you're going to go through. You're going to create the business name, right? My MSP test. I'm just going to make a random name here, and then we can do computer services because that's really what we're providing. We're providing computer services. You could pick something else if you don't think it quite aligns. Now, do you want to add a location customers can visit, like a store or an office? If you're starting an MSP, you're probably working from home. If you already have an office, obviously you're going to want to hit yes. In this case, I'm just going to hit no for the ease of use. Where do you serve your customers? Now, if you serve them in a local area, this is going to be very, very important. If you serve them globally or countrywide, this is going to be an important area too. Now, keep in mind, you can always change this. This is not set in stone, right? So if this is, maybe I want to go after Charlotte, and it's much easier to close deals locally to you. I'm just going to pick Charlotte, North Carolina. You could pick Suffolk County, Nassau County on Long Island. You can pick the 5 boroughs in New York. You could pick the surrounding areas of the city. For the sake of this, I'm just going to pick that. And then we can do phone number and website here. I'm going to use a work number here. Grab my work number, United States. And then optional, I'm going to skip that for now, but you'd put in your website because it'll start pulling some information out there and it'll start making the connections. Now, it wants to verify our mailing address. It is important to go through this. For the sake of this, I'm going to verify it later. Now, recently, there's been a big spike in how they're doing it. Previously, it was pretty simple. Some cases, it would just say, hey, you're good to go. We like the location. Sometimes it would say, hey, we're going to mail you something, and it would be a little piece of postage, and that postage would open up and have, usually I want to say it was like a 5 or 6 letter and number combination code on it. And then you would put that in and say, hey, proof that we're here. People have recently been getting a thing where they have to record their office, run out to the street, and show the street sign to prove that they are where they say they are. However, it makes you do it, I apologize. I don't work for Google. It's a pain in the butt to do, but that's what's been happening lately. After you go through that, right, we could verify this later. You're going to just finish adding your services, going through this step by step by step, your hours. You're going to finish, you're adding your business description, adding business photos, and making sure you add real business photos. I'm not talking stock imagery, pictures of you working on computers, and then it's going to want you to advertise, right? They want you to try Google Workspace. I apologize for my anti-Googlers out there. And then your edits will be visible once you're verified, right? Continue. Perfect. That is quite literally the process for setting up a Google My Business. This is probably single-handedly the easiest and best thing that you can do to get found online, bar none. Next, step 2, we want to fix our website because a lot of people are sleeping on website updates. I promise you it's not as bad as you actually think it is. You want to make sure that each service has its own page. I cannot stress it enough. If your services don't have their own pages, you are telling Google basically, I don't want free traffic. That's it. That's exactly what you're doing. You want to make sure that you have pages for every service that you offer. And on those pages specifically, you want to talk about the benefits to your dream customer. If you don't talk about the benefits, somebody's going to go there and say, I don't think this company's for us. On to the next one, right? And if you're servicing a local area, add your city and a state if you want to, if you're servicing more than one state on every single page. IT services in Charlotte, North Carolina, cybersecurity services in Charlotte, North Carolina. Yes, I know you're like, Harrison, that's a lot of work. So is door knocking, and I'm giving you another alternative. I'm telling you, put the work in. You could use ChatGPT to make your life a million times easier. And make sure at the bottom of the website, you have a clear contact form or link to a contact form, a phone number. Those are the two most important things because you want people to be able to call you and fill out a form online, and make sure it works on a cell phone. Now, after you go through that and before you make helpful content, there's one other step I want you to do. After you've made all these pages, you could do it before too, but I want you to spend more time working on this, and it's called Google Search Console. So if we go back to Google, we can go to Google Search, I can't type, console. Go to Google Search Console and hit Start Now. It's a very simple process. You have to add a record to your DNS settings on a TXT, and it'll verify it usually within a few minutes, and then you can start getting found on Google. Now, Google Search Console is different than Google Analytics. Google Analytics will show you all of the traffic on your website, which I also recommend setting up. But Google Search Console tells Google, hey, we want more traffic. And we want to show you where you should send traffic and what should be sent to traffic and what pages we have on our website. It's all organic. It's not you posting on LinkedIn or Reddit or whatever it is and driving traffic back in. It's only how often you show up on Google. Now, the next and probably last thing that you need to do for the basics is start creating helpful content. Write helpful articles. You can put tons of stuff on your website, but 3 signs you need IT support, right, is a shorter one. But 3 signs you need IT support in your healthcare clinic. Boom, great article. Why your financial office needs cybersecurity in 2025. Breaking things down, going for what's called a longer tail keyword, where you're implementing who your dream customer is with additional keywords like cybersecurity, business, IT support. So when Google looks at the website, Google goes, I know exactly what they do. They're going to read the whole page too. Trust me. And you want to make sure it's a great blog. Yes, can you use ad or write the blog posts? Of course you can. But that should be a starting point for you. You should be taking those blogs because Google wants to hear from you. Google knows all of the information. Google loves fresh content and they want to see that it's human written. Yes, it makes it so easy to go out and just have ChatGPT bang out blog posts. Of course it does. But I promise you, by taking, even if you have ChatGPT write it and you rework it to make it amazing, it's going to do far better than just AI content that's slapped together. And try to aim for one picture for every 500 ish words. So if it's a 1,500 word article, at least 3 images is great to have on there. And that's quite literally the basics of doing a website. If you want to take it one step further and you've been subscribed to this content for a while, in my last video, I talked about buying reviews, which I don't recommend buying fake reviews. But if you do want to give a reward for somebody leaving you a review, you want to get reviews from happy customers and you want them to leave it on Google. This, you can send them a link on your Google My Business listing, right? Where you can go through, you can get an actual link, and in that link, you can have people post those reviews directly to your profile. These reviews are going to help you rank higher and build trust with new visitors. You can also take those reviews and put them on in various places on your website, whether that's in the footer, bottoms of the pages, maybe on your resources page. But there is so many opportunities to get tons and tons and tons of reviews. And then just track your progress. As you go through this, setting up Google Analytics is going to be great. Setting up Google Search Console is going to be even better. But track your data. At the end of the day, you have to track your data. And the nice part is these programs do it for you. Yes, you can use Wix, which will track your data. You can use different plugins in WordPress that'll track your information or track the visitors on your website. But at the end of the day, the go-to gold standards is Google Search Console and Google Analytics. Maybe once a month. Don't overthink it. Don't make it more complicated than it needs to be. But it's really important that you take the basic steps. I have a ton of new marketing videos coming out. Some people are like, we want to see more marketing. You're getting more marketing. More sales gets more views on YouTube, but I want to make sure that you have the necessary steps that you can take to truly succeed online. Feel free to hit the like button, subscribe button, notification bell on this video. Save this video for later. You might want to come back and go through it a couple different times. A little quick recap. Google listings. You got to get it done. Your Google My Business listing is huge. If you can, add stuff to your website, clean up your website, make sure it looks good, make sure it functions well, and add actual content. Set up your Google Search Console, and if you're there, you might as well set up your Google Analytics as well. Then build out a blog post or helpful content. You don't have to do it every day, but once a week, once every other week is perfectly acceptable. If you could do it once every other week and produce a great blog post, in the matter of in 12 months, you're going to have 24 blogs. And don't forget to ask for reviews. It is not as bad as you think it is. Trust me, you can automate it. You can just send that link out. Hey, I would really appreciate a review. It takes 2 minutes to write a review. It doesn't even have to be spell checked. And with the advent of AI, you could just copy, paste it in there, clean this up, and post it. That's what I do. I take my notes, jot them down, have AI clean them up, and then I post them. So that way they are mine, but I don't format everything as nicely. And look, I'm not that good at spelling. I love the heck out of all of you guys. Thank you so much for checking out this video. Hopefully this was helpful. It's super, super basic, but I want you to succeed online. I'll see you guys in the next one.